All right, so now I'm going to cover my portfolio, the miners. Before I do that, I'm going to very quickly look at the DXY. So remember, the DXY has just come up from pretty much the 99 handle, just a steep slope, ascending move, higher highs, higher lows on every retracement, gone all the way up and pretty much testing 106 almost. Now, the difference is that the last 2 days, the miners have gone up despite the DXY's strength. So I think we're starting to get to a point where the miners are maybe they've bottomed, or at least they found relative strength. So, but it's just a good reminder that, you know, the DXY, I think it will find resistance around just below 106. And what you really want is the DXY to go down now, because this move is a little overextended. And for that, it needs to lose its ascending support. And to be honest, if it was to start doing that now, what you really want is to close below 104 point, let's say 4, you know, once it closes there, however long it takes, that will prove that it's, you know, lost its support, this ascending support and this horizontal. Then we come back down here and then let's see what happens. But at the moment, the DXY has had an amazing run. So it's good to remember that. I'll quickly cover gold also and silver. I'm not going to look at the markets because the markets, I've covered that elsewhere. And to be honest, the miners can go up with the markets going up or down. And at the moment, they're going up, which is a good thing, despite the markets going down. So let's look at gold. This is what gold's been doing the last 2 days. It hit a bit of a bottom here at 1900. Nice reversal just on support. So we want gold to go higher now. First thing to do is to close above 1930. Then it'll probably start tagging this descending. But what you want is a close above this descending and preferably a close above 1950. That will really signal a move to 1980. And imagine what the chart looks like there when you're at 1980. Nice sort of, you know, rounded bottom, higher low double bottom here. It would look really bullish. That's the point. You may have a bit of retracement and then move higher, but if gold starts to close above 1980, it's, for me, it's on for new all-time highs. So we're pretty close to that. It's just 2 or 3 levels to close above. In the meantime, I'll show you silver very quickly. That was relatively strong and stronger than gold on this move up here. And then I said that gold would catch up, whether they go up or down, and that's what happened. Silver went down more than gold, and now they're more in line. So silver's lost a bit of its relative strength from down here, but still doesn't really matter. Once gold starts to take out its 1930, 1940, 1950 zones, you can expect silver to be all the way up here. The 1980 zone, silver will be at least at 25, I reckon, if not higher. Maybe silver starts to speed up by then, because silver is always the gold on steroids, let's say. So for next stop really is 24, but for that you need gold to be like 1950 probably, or at least 1940. So that's silver, and obviously it found good strength up here just where it had to. So, and I covered that already. The miners. So before I look at the portfolio, remember what the miners look like. The last 2 days, Friday and Thursday, we were up despite not the strongest days in gold and silver, despite the market weakness, despite the dollar strength. So these 2 days are really, really important, I reckon. It could be the signal that we're up for breaking out of this downtrend. And this double bottom with the higher low is also very nice. So I'm just looking for that continuation here. Close above 30 for GDX and GDXJ. Yeah, 37, close above 37 would really do it. So let's see. I've covered that in the other videos. I just think it's good background before we go to the miners. By the way, I have Metallo royalty here. Is something I was looking to buy down here because it was getting crushed, and then I didn't. So that's why it's there. I don't actually own it, although it's probably a good stock to own. I think Peter Schiff wanted to buy it at 4. He was complaining about missing it here, and then here it is down here. So it's just something I've kept my eye on. So Newmont. Look at this. It's outperforming GDX, right? Outperforming GDX, closed above this resistance. For me, this is resistance 40. Nice big number. It was a low down here. It was resistance when we moved up, and now we've clearly closed above it. So Newmont outperforming the GDX, and also one of the main drivers of the GDX. So that's a nice bullish move. For me, next move is 41. It's very small, light resistance. And then this descending. And I think if GDX and GDXJ, of course, can do their thing and close above the descending, we'll probably have Newmont all the way up here. So, and remember to zoom out. Look where we are in Newmont. This is the monster senior stock. You know, what are we doing down here? So I know costs are higher because of inflation and whatever, but it belongs way higher. So I'm very happy holding this. And yeah, those are the next levels I'm watching. 41 and then tagging this probably 42. Why not 42? So it looks very bullish though. This double bottom here, very nice. And really the close on Friday was what did it for me. Barrick Gold, look at this. Also higher low close, high of day, very, very bullish. You know, it took out this little descending, but also we have the horizontal here. So next stop, this level here is 1690, let's say, but otherwise all the way up to 1750/18. So we just need continuation, but it looks really constructive at the moment. I like Barrick Gold and Newmont, they look very good. Agnico-Eagle didn't take out the high from back here, the sort of, you know, end of August high that the others have, but still closed above the descending. And if we have some continuation, then you know what, this doesn't really count in my opinion anymore. So once we close above 50, nice round number, also the high from here, then we can move all the way back up to 53/5450, this area. So just a little continuation, just one more day. Really, all of them need just one more day, and then they can really scream higher. So we're almost there, but very constructive stuff in Agnico-Eagle. Pan America, look at this resistance on the horizontal, tags it, closes not really near high of day, but very nice. You know, once we close above 17, obviously 17, then we move all the way up to 1850. Very, very clear charting here. I mean, it's really clear, but it was a very good stock, very strong. I mean, look, it never really went that low compared to this period. So it outperformed for a while and it continues to outperform. And I think it will go all the way up. And zoom out, look where we are. This is a monster stock. So very happy with Pan America. Wheaton, this one looked very weak down here. I remember I thought, it's going to go lower, so I didn't add to it. But now it looks very good. Close at high of day, best close in a long time. Next resistance, obviously where we are is a bit of a resistance because it was the high from back here. But if we have, again, one more day of an up move, we can go test 45, let's say 70. And then if we take that out, then all these horizontals that I've already placed seem to be correct. So Wheaton's a monster though. So it's never went down that much, doesn't surprise me. So, but I don't really add to it because I don't think it can go up too much. You know, even the high of 58, how much of a percentage move is that? You know, it's 30%. That sounds like a lot, but if I look at even Newmont, which is a huge monster stock, you know, 30% is just here. So imagine it goes all the way up there. So that's why Wheaton, I'm not adding to it, but very, very strong stock, never went that far down and still looks quite bullish like the others. Now, this one here has changed its ticker and I can't add anything now to TradingView. Aris Mining, ARMN, just crazy candles. And it changed its ticker at the period I didn't even know, so I would have sold this because it's very obvious resistance. The old high, also the descending, so you know, 280 or 277, 278 would be real resistance. So it looks a bit strange, but obviously it's had a huge move up from $2, just above $2, all the way to 280. So that's huge moves. Actually, how much of a percentage move is that? That's basically from there to there. There you go, 30%. You know, that's Wheaton going to the all-time highs. So I think it retraced a bit because of the crazy move, the news, the ticker changed, and it's had very good news actually. I think it had drilling results that were good. So this is a warranted move. I think we'll eventually curl and go higher, especially if the sector goes up. So what you really want is a close above 280, because by then you're probably taken out this descending, and then it's all the way up to 310 and etc. So very good stock. And you know, the more you zoom out, the more you realize the potential for it to move up. There's obviously a story for it going all the way down here. It was almost bankrupt and then it was well managed. And now it looks like it can go much higher. So huge percentage moves possible here in Aris Mining. Max Silver, another one that was not my favorite stock, but then it all of a sudden had good news. And I thought, okay, I'll keep it. I didn't add to it, but look at this. Look at the last 2 days. Huge moves, massive bullish, engulfing, closing above the descending, above the old high of the late August, which is destined for 1250 and then even higher. So if the sector can continue, Mag Silver, I expect it to go all the way, to be honest, to 1350. I mean, that is a big move, but still I expect it to do that because it had really good earnings from a while ago. It's just forced down with the price of gold, and it was just a stock that wanted to go higher. You could see it, you could sense it, but the sector just said, no, I'm sorry, you just can't do it right now. You know, we'll wait for good conditions. Well, now we've got good conditions, and look at this huge 2 candles. So yeah, and then we're probably going to start testing this descending pretty soon. So I'm very, very bullish mag. I'm very happy to keep it. Goldfields was also like mag, a stock that I wanted to get rid of, except Goldfields, unlike mag, did not have good news. It had bad news from back here. So I trimmed half of the rest of the position when it went all the way up here. I should have trimmed it all. And now I've got very little in this. This is worth probably the same as some of these juniors right now. So I intend to sell Goldfields when I feel like the GDX has run out of steam. So if we do have a bit of a move higher, I mean, look at it, it was red on Friday. Very weak stuff. So this thing, I want to get rid of it. It's, you know, and when you zoom out, like it's had a crazy move, you know, it's not like the other stocks where they're even better stocks, but really underpriced. This one's had a crazy move. And even where it is now, it's overpriced, not overpriced, but you can make more money holding something else. So I want the money I've got in Goldfields, which is very little now, just elsewhere. So I think this area, 13, just above 13, 1330-ish, 1329, this area, I think that'll be resistance. But to get there, you need a lot of strength in the miners. You can see that red on a big, strong green day is not impressive. So, you know, what if the miners start to retrace? This will start to close below 12 and then down we go, and who knows? I mean, there it depends on the sector, but Goldfields relatively weak, definitely, and it's yeah, I don't think I can squeeze that much out of it, so I want to get rid of that at the next opportunity. Fortuna, let's look at the silver ones now. So the silver stocks didn't move as much as I thought they would. Still nice, and you know, nice move up. Fortuna had bad news, so it just flushed this area. For me, yeah, resistance are these 2 lines here. So just above 310, you know, that was the support down here. Maybe not actually, because ever since this move high, it gated $3. I'm going to get rid of that. I mean, 3 is obviously a psychological number, and we closed above 3, so at least there's that. So yeah, this level here and just below, just to be sure, 320, so 319 should be resistance. We need to close above 320 to be able to start moving higher, but for that we need the sector to go up, and silver. So if silver can start moving up to 25, then definitely Fortuna can go all the way up to the high 3s. So it's okay. It's okay. It's not bad, not great. EXK, this is disappointing. I mean, look at this. This is okay. At least it was up 2%, but you'd expect more. And what you really wanted, and you can see this support was clearly resistance. So these lines always work. So let's say 275-ish. You really want to close above 280 to really clear it. And then you can start moving to 3. 3 is the next resistance. It's a nice round number. It's also where this high was. So, and then we can start moving higher. But again, you'll need silver and the miners to go up for that. I'm pretty disappointed with the EXK. It's a very good stock, and we're not that far off its lows. So yeah, again, not great, not too bad. At least it was up. First, Majestic AG. Yes, so this support becomes resistance, but we popped our head above it, that's for sure. We closed pretty much at resistance, so that's a little bullish. At least it was up almost 4%, that's a good move. But I really want First Majestic to start squeezing now, because this one is a big stock. It really has potential to squeeze. And, you know, if we start to move higher, obviously 639-ish is the next resistance. I don't even think 6 is resistance. So if we do move higher with silver and the miners, this thing can soon start hitting real squeeze coil potential. You know, this descending line here, I really think it matters. But for that, you really need to be up here, $7. $7 is massive resistance, very, very significant stuff. So next up is 639, 640, and then it's really $680, $7. And that's when it becomes very, very interesting, because it could start to squeeze. You know, imagine, looks like it's far away, but imagine a move up here, bam, you can start really squeezing to $10 and all that. So, but again, for that you need silver at 25, 26. You need gold to start hitting 1980, going past 2000. Then you can really see huge moves, almost 100% for this. But not a bad move for Friday. CDE, this one here, this is my favorite for huge moves. This one, okay, it was up, it gapped up, nice. It was up 4%. That's okay. That's okay. It hit its mini resistance of 240. You can see it failed there several times. So a close above 240, which we almost did, then we can start moving to 260. And if we start hitting 260, look at this descending, we can have a little bit of a squeeze above 330 is 335, which I remember this always where it stalled a bit. So, but you need continuation in the miners and in the underlying metals, in silver, of course, but close above 240, then to 260, then can it squeeze? And where are we trading? We're trading off the absolute lows, you know, ascending lows, but long-term ascending lows. This is almost a decade. So yeah, you know, this could be a significant move if we close above here. Always my favorite to watch for huge squeezes, this one. Speaking of squeezes, here's another one, Discovery. So this one, zoom out again. You know, here's your resistance from a long time ago, from 2-3 years ago, and then bam, we move up, becomes support just on a quick retracement, all the way up, crazy move, then slow grind low with the sector, and then we're hitting absolute lows, in my opinion. And look at this, this is clearly, and this helps too, this move down here solidifies the support, and then double bottom. I'm not going to call it triple bottom, really double bottom, but look at this. This is what you need to confirm the double bottom. A huge spike, close above the last high. And now resistance, again, the horizontal lines are just so accurate. You know, I'm not going to say 70, 69, 70. Look at this. We need to close above 70 and preferably above this descending, because look at this descending. Touches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very credible. So once we close above 70, if we can just go a little higher, really a 76, 75 close would completely confirm it. But for me, so far, this is amazing. These last 3 candles, very, very good. Just a little bit more. That's the theme of this video. Just a little 1 or 2 days extra of continuation. And then a lot of these miners have confirmed technical breakout continuation patterns, but this is just wonderful. So because I had a lot in Discovery and then I stopped adding because I realized I had a bit too much. I got a bit too excited. But now that it's moved back up, it's, you know, one of my biggest P&Ls every day when it has big moves. Like, okay, 4% is not crazy, but the day before, I forgot, it was huge. It was, I think it was 15% or something on that day. It would have been, wait, that was the close from Wednesday. At one point, yeah, look, it was 15% at one point. Okay, close at 10%, but that's a big move. It was always the biggest P&L stock that I owned on days like this. So it reminds me how much I've got in it or how much I can make out of it. So it's kind of worth the same as these seniors now, just off this move. So continuation. I think once if we squeeze, if silver and miners can go high, if we can start closing above 76, we can very quickly run to 1. And that's pretty much 100% move from where we are, just where we bottomed, just above 50, all the way to 1. That's 100%. You know, that's why I don't want to have too much in Wheaton, which a move all the way up here is just 30%, because you have things like Discovery that can do 100% just as easily. That's where I leave it. I don't want to cover these juniors too much. The only other one I like is Gogold. I don't consider that too much of a junior. Look at this last 3 days. I mean, look at that close at high of day. Very nice bottom formation. So comes from a lower low and squeezes and closes higher than this late August high. Next stop is 130, and then we'll see about the descending. Again, another one where a long-term credible descending trend line can be taken out. It just needs continuation. These are the juniors. The only other one is K92, which to be honest was a bit disappointing. So it had a nice move up before. This is the August high, but nowhere near as high. So I'm not really sure why. Maybe there's news I haven't watched, but I don't own too much in these two. They're the only ones that I want to add to, actually, because I don't own too much. But again, this one needs to take out its 670, 665-ish, or 660 high. That's it. I don't want to overdo it. Hope that was useful. I will leave it there, leave some comments, like the video and all that. I hope you find it useful, you know, the levels, the specific detail I go into, etc., etc. Otherwise, have a good weekend.